The JengPat, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
She's going to be cutting all this. Okay, start again.
Let's try this again. Hi, YouTube people.
You took one sentence. It stopped you. One sentence stopped you and you couldn't write.
Well, it's not so much I couldn't write. It was just like, well, that's poorly done.
Well, but you thought it was an important sentence and you thought you could make a whole chapter out of that one sentence.
That's what happened.
And so now she's made a whole chapter.
It's true. I've made a whole chapter out of one sentence. Now comes the moment of truth. Did it work?
Yeah. And
or did it not work?
So today we're not going to edit little incidental punctuation errors or extra verb usage. All we're going to edit today is this content appropriate for where she's going with this story?
Did it work?
Did it work?
Did it not work?
Did it not work?
Do I have to rewrite it by Friday?
Hopefully not. So let's go.
Let's find out.
Let's do it.
Okay. This is editing and copying, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Happy days, guys.
Editing and water
happy
today.
Week. Happy summer.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications if you want to know when these videos drop. And
hit the like button.
Leave a comment. That would be cool, too.
Yeah. It all helps. Thank you.
It all helps. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Okay.
So, here we are, chapter 2. This is like super, super rough. But the point I wanted to make is, I don't know, should we read it first or?
I'm coming in totally clueless. So if you want me to be clueless, that's good. But if you want me to be intelligent, maybe, tell me what's going on.
All right. So, last night I was riding along and I had a moment and realized that one sentence was the entire chapter. So.
Well, show me that sentence. That must be a pretty brilliant thing.
I'm pretty brilliant. All right. So, this sentence. He just had to put a calf down last week who got a bit too frisky and broke his leg in a gopher hole. That sentence, I realized, I was like, why does that have to be in the past? It could be the main event of the chapter. And by becoming the main event of the chapter, we learn a little bit about who Jeng is as a person and how he handles an event like that. And nothing's changing. The beginning's still the same. The only thing that's happening is the rest of the chapter is going to be based on this one sentence because I told about it,
Instead of showing
it, and
okay, let me ask you this: is it important for the development of the story?
If this is what you would call a character-driven plot line, then yeah, sure. I mean, you could have any kind of major event happen to really bring a character out. But why not? This one seems to work out okay. Right?
So in other words, you want to
dramatic.
use this, right? You want to use this to show what kind of person Jeng is.
Yeah.
And perhaps a reason why someone would come to the Dude Ranch for a month and fall in love within that short amount of time.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
Right, so...
So yeah, get rid of the rest of the words and...
Well, I'm not going to get rid of the rest because it can lead into that. So Jeng stared off into the distance, hand resting on the pommel of his saddle, horse firmly standing, firm again, because you can have firm twice when it's a rough draft. Horse firmly standing firm and strong under him.
We'll be fixing this later.
He was surrounded for miles by grass and cows. In the distance, white-capped peaks towered over the line of pine trees. He felt peace deep in his bones out on the range miles away from anyone. Sometimes he just needed to escape. Winnie perked her ears, hearing something only she could. "What is it, girl?" He scratched her neck. She tossed her head and relaxed again. He pulled off his cowboy hat and scratched his head. "I guess it is getting on in the day. We should probably head back."
By this time, you probably should be making a different, maybe more of a hint about that looks like an animal down in the distance, or she snorted, because horses are pretty sensitive creatures, and so they might, and if she works with cattle a lot, she might act alarmed that the calf is down.
It's possible.
So that should be added. Already you should.
Yeah, but she might see it, but he can't. He sense it, but he can't necessarily see it yet.
Yeah, but she's not going to relax.
Okay, fine. We will have her not relax.
Okay.
He nudged her sides and she took off at a solid walk. The urge to fly came over him. Yeah! He tapped her a bit harder and leaned forward in encouragement. She took off like a bullet and he whooped with glee. This was life. The wind whipped through his hair. He held his hat with one hand and flattened out against her neck. Soon, they were scattering cows right and left, and Jeng slowed her down. "Whoa there, easy girl. You know this stretch isn't safe." And then I wrote, "He just put a calf down last week who got a bit too frisky and broke his leg in a gopher hole." Right on this stretch of ground that they
pasture or whatever.
Yeah.
So
instead of like that happening in the past, he slows down and he's going to see said calf with a broken leg.
If a calf has a broken leg out in the field, first of all of the cows probably are going to be circling in a strange manner.
Okay.
Because cows do that thing where they protect the young.
Okay.
Right? And then
I will.
So that's going to be odd right from the get-go. What are those cows doing over there?
Yeah,
and why is my horse acting like such a weirdo all of a sudden? She's usually so calm. Right? But she's not going to be calm either, because she's seeing the cows over there and there's something definitely up. And that's going to happen right from the get-go.
All right.
So,
I mean, I can share. I'm changing the animal behavior.
Yeah.
Basically,
basically, he's not going to go racing across the pasture.
He's going to go hunting for what's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's chill.
Yeah.
It can still start peaceful though, and then.
Yeah, he could be thinking how peaceful it is, and then this horrible thing, because he's taken off to get away. Right. I just need to get away from a while. It's like a little mini vacation for him. And then the horse starts acting up, and then the cows off in the distance are like doing some weird circling thing, and what the heck's going on? And he's looking around for mountain lions, or where are they, in Montana? So he's looking around for mountain lions or even wolves up there, and yeah. And you thought it would be a teachable moment, so
I thought it would be, because I think a lot of people write like that.
It's by the seat of their pants.
It's not so much by the seat of your pants, but they write, telling something,
rather than showing.
and then sometimes it's good to tell, but then there's a moment where one sentence can become the central focus of your chapter, and to be brave enough to take that sentence and turn it into a chapter is a big deal.
And also brave enough to throw out then words that you've already written.
Yeah.
I've thrown out whole chapters. I've thrown out a whole book and started again because it just didn't work.
So this was like a rough draft. Obviously, I just started writing this last night, but I wanted to share with everybody.
Okay, yeah. To and the whole show and not tell business.
Yeah, in real time, instead of just talking about it later. I wanted to be able to show you this extremely rough draft with the moment. Because I could have just fixed it and, not told you and not told anyone, and you could have just seen the other chapter the way it was, but nobody will learn anything from that.
Cool.
All right.
We did this. Yeah, thanks. Okay, cool.
Hey, all. So it's just the next day since I gave my last little update on chapter 2, and I've already actually changed my mind. I decided that the death of an animal is not the way to start a love story, so we're going to go with life.
Chapter 2, New Life. Jeng stared off into the distance, hand resting on the pommel of his saddle, horse firmly standing under him. He was surrounded for miles by green grass, flowers, and cows. In the distance, white-capped peaks towered over the line of pine trees. Winter had yet to release her hold on them. He felt peace deep in his bones, out on the range, miles away from anyone. Sometimes he just needed to escape. Winnie perked her ears, sensing something only she could. "What is it, girl?" He scratched her neck. She tossed her head and stared fixedly at a point in the distance. He followed her gaze and saw cows milling about in an odd formation. He pulled off his cowboy hat and scratched his head. "They're definitely behaving like something's wrong. Let's go check it out. Hopefully it's not wolves." He nudged her sides, and she took off at a solid walk. Suddenly, the base of his neck tingled. He was not one to ignore intuition, especially when it came to his primary prized herd. "Yeah!" He tapped her hard and leaned forward in encouragement. She took off like a bullet. The wind whipped through his hair. He held his hat in one hand and flattened against her neck. Thanks to her speed, they were within spooking distance in just a few minutes. "Whoa there, easy girl. Let's not scare them more." The herd was circling around, and from his height on Winnie's back, he could see his favorite girl laying in the middle, feet tucked under her body. "Oh no, babe! You aren't due for 2 weeks. Why are you down? For that matter, who let you out?" "Elsa, wait!" he snapped as his favorite dog sneaked toward the herd. She froze and lay down. This won't do. He pulled out his satellite phone and called Tay, his foreman. "What is it, boss?" "Someone let Babe out," Jeng snapped impatiently while contemplating how to get her. His mind made up. He called Elsa. "Cast!" Swiftly and quietly, she went to work, herding the cattle into a group. "Sorry, boss," Tay said. "Sorry won't cut it. She's down. Probably the spring grass was too rich for her condition. I'm in the left back 40. Bring supplies." He barked and hung up the phone. Oh no, we're not doing that right now. Jeng
So hard for Mom. Okay.
Jeng watched Elsa try to pull the cows together and decided she needed help. "Elsa, steady, away." She moved counterclockwise, and he moved clockwise around the herd. Soon they were clumped and moving in the right direction. "Elsa, wait!" He called the dog to stand with Babe, while he moved the rest of the herd to the next field. He pointed Winnie in the right direction and let her do her job. Her cow sense was like no other. She knew what they were going to do far before Jeng did. He swiftly locked the gate behind the last straggler and rushed back toward his beloved cow. He pulled Winnie to a stop and dismounted in one smooth motion, dropping one rein on the ground to keep her nearby. "Hey, babe." His heifer gave him a side eye. Sorry. Okay, but you see where the punctuation needed to not be, right? Okay. Really, that's the way the reading's going to go, because we're not checking that now. His heifer gave him a side eye and mooed pitifully. "I know, that looks painful." He kneeled and put one hand on her neck. "Easy. Good girl." He stroked her firmly from ear to shoulder in a soothing rhythm. The baby's hooves made a brief appearance and disappeared back inside. "Okay, babe, I'm just going to check." He placed experienced hands on her side and felt for the calf. Damn it. It's backward. I knew it. Those were rear hooves sticking out and not front ones. He called Tay again. "Bring the full calving kit." "Gee, boss, you think?" "Don't get smart with me." "Yes, sir, I'll bring the calving kit, sir." "Tay!" Tay's laughter could be heard through the phone. Jay hung up. Oh, it's going to be hard to read. Jeng hung up and watched another contraction ripple across her abdomen. "Hang in there, girl. Help is coming." He sat beside her, not caring that the grass was damp, and whispered sweet nothings at her. Just sitting didn't sit well. But what was going to do? Pictures from the past flashed in front of him. Early spring sunlight filtered through the chinks in the barn, but did nothing to warm it up. I sat beside Dottie, my favorite cow. Suddenly my favorite scent enveloped me. I felt his warm arms wrap around my shoulder. A bear here gets the near 0 degrees Fahrenheit temperature.
Oh man, Mom.
Where is
What
this?
a read.
What the hell? I mean, I'm sorry. he sat beside her, not caring that the grass was damp, and whispered sweet nothings at her. Is this the sweet nothings he's whispering at her?
No, it's just sitting. But I'll tell you, pictures from the past flash in front of him.
Okay. Early spring
Because
sunlight
he's okay.
filtered through the chinks of the
Clearly, this is poorly done. Keep going.
Early spring sunlight filtered through the chinks of the barn did nothing to warm it up. It should probably read, he sat beside Dottie, my favorite cow. Suddenly his favorite scent enveloped him. I felt his warm arms wrap never mind. I felt his warm arms wrap around my shoulder, a barrier against the near 0 degrees.
Yes, I changed it to first person for memory. Is that not? I mean, okay.
We're not changing it right now, folks. I'm just going to get through this, so just bear with me.
Technically, this is content, so it is something we could talk about. It has nothing to do with punctuation.
His warm bear.
This is the problem. Like, this is the thing we were talking about. Did it run well or does it not run well?
Well, he's sitting beside her, whispering sweet nothings at her.
Babe, yeah, but Dottie is Babe's mom.
Dottie is Babe's mom.
Yeah.
He sat beside Dottie.
Babe's mom. I sat beside Dottie, Babe's mom. I mean...
Your mom. He can say, I sat beside Dottie. Your mom, Babe. He's whispering sweet nothings to her.
Oh, I see. So this should be in quotes and not... Okay.
Whatever.
Control I.
Birthing lasts a long time. It can be that long.
Early. Quote that nonsense.
Okay, early spring filtered through the chinks in the barn, but did nothing to warm it up. I sat beside Dottie.
Your mom.
Your mother, Babe. Or what are they? Your
dam.
No, I don't know what they call it in cow world.
That's horse world.
Yeah, so just put your mother, Babe, and then we'll look it up.
Babe.
She was my favorite cow then.
Before you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's even cuter. Okay.
Suddenly my favorite scent enveloped me. I felt his warm arms wrap around my shoulder, a barrier against the near 0 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. His warm baritone voice gave me goosebumps. Hi, love. How's she doing?
How's she doing? Apparently he hasn't really
I can't get that little. No change. Aaron settled beside me. The baby is in the right direction. Oh, the baby is in the right direction. Aaron settled beside me. His name is Aaron.
Yeah.
I nodded in the affirmative. I laid my head on his shoulder and petted Dottie softly. Soon 2 front hooves appeared, quickly followed by a tiny red body. She was beautiful. You were beautiful, my babe.
And later I'll have to put quotes in all the right places.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now it's only a quote at the beginning, at the end. There needs to be a quote at the beginning of every line.
Mm-hmm.
Which, is a lot of quotes.
It is a lot of quotes. We're not going to worry about that right now.
We're not going to worry about it. No. But it will be there when you read the final draft on Wattpad.
Yes, it will. Jeng heard the rumble of a 4-wheeler approaching. Help was on the way, and both Dottie and
Aaron settled back into the past where they belonged.
Oh, yeah, Dottie. Dottie is the other cow.
Yes.
Aaron is the other love.
Yes, Dottie the cow, Aaron the love. There's so many names.
Well, we'll work on it.
Was it bad to give Dottie a name? Should I have left her?
No.
Miss Cow the cow.
No. We'll work on it. We'll figure out how to make that. And it could just be because we've broken up the reading so much that it's like not, my brain's not like registering. Oh, yeah, Aaron. I already forgot about him. I was so intent on the baby being born. Who cares about Aaron? Right? Sometimes the longing for those days was overwhelming. He had lonely, sleepless nights missing him, but there was nothing to do. Aaron wanted light.
Well, maybe,
No, Jeng heard the rumble of, oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Try again. You are beautiful, my babe.
Sometimes the longing for those days was overwhelming. I had lonely, sleepless nights missing him.
Okay. This is going to take some more effort. We're changing that to first person. I have to change the rest of it too.
Not all of it. You don't have to change any of this. Aaron wanted light. He's still talking to his cow. Aaron wanted light. He wanted freedom. He wanted the ability to tell the world about whom he loved, and I wasn't in a position to make that happen. End quote. So now you'll remember what you're doing. Jeng heard... we're not doing that. Okay, we're going to change that to the rumble of the four-wheeler approached.
Okay.
Help, but not today. Help was on the way, and both Dottie and Aaron settled back into the past where they belonged. Now, that's a cool story.
It is, except for the fact that I probably should have put he owned a large operation in Montana above Jeng heard the rumble of the four-wheeler as well.
No, because then we're going to think that's the guy driving the four-wheeler. That probably should go,
He owned a large operation. If people caught wind that he was part of the LGBTQIA plus community, he would lose business. Since he wasn't willing to put another person through that, it was his choice to remain alone. He sighed and got to his feet.
No. I think that makes sense right there.
Okay.
Because Aaron wanted light, he wanted freedom, he wanted the ability to tell the world about whom he loved. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what?
And then he hears the rumble, and then he can still be thinking about stuff. And now he's
just thinking about it, even though they went back into the past. He's still thinking about the fact that he owns a ranch and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We might have to add some more words to that to make it really clear, but that works there, I think. The four-wheeler came into view. Jeng shouted, "Don't come too close!" The engine cut about 10 feet away, and Tay stepped off. "I know, boss. You don't need to tell me." Winnie startled a bit, but stayed ground-tied a few feet away. Elsa waved her tail in greeting, but also stayed. "Calves the wrong direction." "Okay, boss." They set about doing what needed to be done. In no time at all, they had chains safely wrapped around two tiny legs sticking out and were ready to pull. Jeng braced himself and called, "All right, 1, 2, pull!" It didn't take much. 3 solid pulls and a tiny red calf lay in a heap on the ground. Tay remembered to set her upright and clear her nose. Tay didn't say anything. He was already doing it. Jeng got a pail of warm water from the four-wheeler and the clean towels. He began to rub the calf systematically to get her circulation going. They had a new baby girl on the farm and a continuation of their prized line. Within minutes, Babe was on her feet again, trying to help lick life into the little one. He watched her laying there in a heap and knew it wasn't safe for them to stay out there. That baby wouldn't be up on her feet for some time. "Tay, I think I'm going to carry this little one home on Winnie. You take the four-wheeler. Babe has never really liked them, and I think she'll be more accommodating and follow me." I think she'll be more accommodating if she follows me, and we'll change that when I do that.
Okay.
"Got it, boss." Jeng got on his horse. Tay picked up the baby and handed it to Jeng, who put her over his shoulders. Babe watched quietly. She was such an easygoing mom. Jeng was impressed. He waited until Tay was a fair distance away with his four-wheeler before nudging Winnie on. They moved slowly toward the ranch. Jeng felt the moisture from the baby sink through his clothing. Her struggles to breathe reassured him of her life. An icy breeze brushed past them, reminding him that even though wildflowers dotted the landscape, winter barely let go of its grasp. He admitted this was a harsh part of the world to live in, but also stunningly beautiful. He could live somewhere openly, somewhere like San Francisco, but it wouldn't feel like home. When he walked into the first signs of civilization, the fence line changed from barbed wire to crisp white wood. Ranch hands and guests quietly went about their morning tasks. He saw a van in the distance. It must be the new guests that were supposed to arrive this morning. He urged Winnie toward the barn. Wildflower season was their busiest time of year. People often booked to stay the entire month of July to help with calving and moving the stock to summer pasture. Was he ready for it? Maybe not, but this was the life he chose. The only way he could think of to save his ranch was by opening it to the public. Yeah.
That is it.
That's better than that sentence that you came up with. Yeah. 'Cause we had to stop and have a long talk about ranch life after that one, so.
All right, one second. We will be right back on a new screen. Okay.
Yeah, that worked much. That's going to be good.
You think so?
Yeah. That's much better than losing a cat.
Losing a cat.
Cause
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of ranch life.
It
but
is.
it's not a part that needs to be part of fiction.
Well, I mean, it can be part of fiction, but maybe not
But
the
not
beginning
for
of a love story.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, why make death the beginning?
Right. No, that's just not good in any shape, way, or form.
No, but probably the symbolism of it wasn't right.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So I like this much better, and yeah, and like we say, we'll clean up the edit. The editing still has to be done with this, but we were looking only for content, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I'm pretty happy with this content.
did Jeng feel like a micromanager to you enough, or do we need to add even more? I don't even know.
Yes, because Tay, obviously he's an experienced ranch hand.
Yeah,
He
he's a
probably
foreman.
actually knows more than Jane.
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly.
Mhm.
And yeah. So that micromanaging came through a little bit.
Yeah,
At least Tay reacted as if he was being micromanaged.
that was the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I needed that to be clear, because Jeng is a micromanager. It's a good way to start a story.
Yeah, I liked the description of the landscape. How many words? Well, we'll look it up.
We don't have to look it up now, but like, if I remember right, this was 12 to 1,300 words. It's like the perfect amount for a chapter.
Okay.
There's still some room to play if there needs to be more words.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. And I agree with you. You did not have to go into all the birthing detail. That was smart.
Yeah, I think that you can go into too much detail about that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
but I still wanted to make it feel somewhat realistic and like, I don't know, like you were on a ranch. So.
Well, I felt it. Have you been on ranches?
I mean, I've been on ranches too, so here we go.
So here we go. Yeah. Okay, good job.
All right.
Remember to hit like if you like this video. Please consider subscribing. And what was the other thing you said? Oh, and the bell
add
to
a
be
comment
notified.
and the bell to be notified. And this is BLSongbird and AVSinger and Editing with Coffee signing out for this week. See you all again next week.